So you've done it. You've gone down the rabbit hole of elective home education. You've read the guides, you get the legal side of things, and you've got this amazing vision in your head. But now what? Now comes the tricky part, right? Turning all that theory into a real, actual day-to-day plan. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today, how to build the toolkit that makes your vision a reality. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole problem perfectly. The guides are great at giving you the what, the content, the rules, the big strategy. But what they often skip over is the how, the actual specific tools you need to pull it all off. There's this gap, you see, between knowing what to do and having the stuff to do it. And that's the big question we're tackling. I want you to think about it like this. Imagine someone hands you these incredibly detailed architectural blueprints for a house. They're perfect, they're precise, but they don't give you a single hammer, a nail, or a saw. You've got the plan, but nothing to build it with. So, this explainer, this is all about finding those missing tools. We're going to systematically go through the essential, practical resources that the guides talk about but don't actually hand over. We're officially moving from the blueprint stage to actually building your toolkit, piece by piece. First things first, we've got to build your command center. This is the administrative backbone of your whole operation. Before you can even dream about curriculum or lesson plans, you need a rock-solid legal and organizational foundation. And it has to be built with some very specific materials. You've probably seen these, right? The guides describe these incredible digital planners, this magical Notion system with automated attendance and these complex lesson structures. It sounds amazing, but here's the first missing tool, the actual functional template. Without that pre-coded file or the specific formulas, you're basically left trying to build a complex piece of software from scratch just based on a description. Okay, next up, legal stuff. It's really helpful that some guides give you examples from specific councils like Westminster, but let's be real, that's probably not where you live. So the second missing tool is the EHE policy, the contact info, and the specific forms for your local authority. Trust me, every council has its own little quirks, and you need the exact document that applies to you. And what about the money side of things? A lot of sources will mention that there are, potential ways to get financial help, bursaries, grants, that kind of thing. But what they almost never give you is the third missing tool, the actual application forms. Knowing a grant exists is one thing, but having the paperwork to actually apply for it, that's a whole different ballgame.
All right, with the admin command center taking shape, let's switch gears to the academic side. This is all about getting the raw materials for learning. And just like before, there's a huge difference between seeing a list of materials on a blueprint and having the actual lumber and bricks delivered to your door.
Now, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. A guide will show you a screenshot of an exam board's website, and they'll circle the syllabus. But that picture isn't the resource itself. The fourth missing tool is the actual downloadable PDF specification for every single subject you choose. That document isn't just a suggestion, it's the rulebook for exactly what needs to be taught. And that syllabus, that's just one piece of a vital three-part puzzle. The fifth and sixth missing tools are the past exam papers and, crucially, their marking schemes. Look, the syllabus tells you what to learn, but the past papers and marking schemes, they teach you how to score points. It's about technique. You absolutely 100% need all three. So let's see how this all comes together in what can feel like the final boss battle, the logistics of the exam itself. As a private candidate, you're on your own navigating the whole external exam system, and it is a minefield of deadlines and potential problems. Yes, this. This is a moment of pure frustration for so many home educators. A guide might show you a picture of the official exam center search tool, but because it's just a static image in a book or a PDF, the result is always nothing. It can't search. It's like having an instruction manual for a tool that you don't actually own. Which leads us to our seventh missing tool, access to the live, functional exam center finder. You need a real-time, searchable database to find centers near you that actually accept private candidates for the specific exams you need. Without that live tool, you're just stuck. You can't book anything.
And once you find a center, believe me, the clock is ticking. This timeline is no joke. The standard entry for summer exams usually closes in late January. Miss that, and you're rolling into the late entry period, which comes with a pretty painful financial penalty.
Yeah, just look at that number. A late entry can jack up the fee for a single subject by over 40%. That's not just a slap on the wrist. That's a serious hit to the budget. Missing these deadlines has a very real and very expensive consequence. And just when you think you've got it all sorted, if you're doing certain science A-levels, there's one more hurdle, the practical endorsement. The guides will tell you it's mandatory, but the final missing tool is the time-sensitive booking information. The schedules for these courses are usually only released once a year, so you have to grab the current year's booking forms and dates to get a spot. So, we've identified all these missing pieces. What does it all mean for you? Well, it means it's time to shift your thinking. Stop just reading the blueprint and start actively gathering your tools. Let's put this all together into a clear, straightforward action plan. Here it is. This is your practical checklist, your to-do list. These are the 7 key resources you need to actively go out and find to make your home education plan work. This isn't theory anymore. This is your tangible shopping list for turning your strategy into a real success. And that's the real takeaway here. Once you understand the difference between the blueprint and the toolkit, you're not just following instructions anymore. You're the chief architect of your child's education. You've got the plans, and now you know exactly which tools you need to go find. So the only question left is, what incredible thing are you going to build?